Hello everyone, this is In-Game Mars. We'll do another unboxing, another breakdown, another demo. This is a Assault Suit Leynos, so hopefully I'm saying that right. This is pretty much a remaster of a classical game that came back on the Mega Drive, correct me if I'm wrong. It never got a physical release in the US, but there's already been several, ports here in America for it, like PC-wise and stuff like that, and English translations and so on and so forth. But, for a physical release, though, there has never been one, and this is the very first physical release in the U.S., and after playing it and everything, I can actually say that this was one heck of a game. Like, I cannot believe it never got a release in the U.S., for the Mega Drive, anyway. I believe it was a Mega Drive. I could get the name completely wrong, but, I mean, it's such an old game, and I wasn't a big Sega person back in the day, so I know a lot of people, there are still dedicated Sega people out there, but I always had that Nintendo when I was growing up, so can't help it. But this remaster comes with the classical version as well as the remastered version, so you can actually play both. As well, it's got remastered audio as fully in English. There's no Japanese voice acting though, but it does support English subtitles. So it's not like unbearable. So it's fine with me as long as I can be able to see read what's going on. I should be able to bear with it. I don't mind Japanese voice acting. I mean, I don't mind it, but I would prefer it if they would have done with a little bit of a dub, because the price tag for this was a little high when it first released. I don't know what it's going for now. It's been out for a while, but when I think it was released, it was like $30 or $40. I thought that was pretty high for something that doesn't even have a dub on it, so I was a little disappointed on that factor. But gameplay-wise, it plays pretty smoothly and pretty good. First, it takes you a little used to how to point and aim and shoot and stuff like that. I actually played this a lot. I just forgot to record it, and then I had to restart it back up way later, and then I forgot almost how to play it. So I had to, as you see in this video, is me learning how to play it. So I got a lot further than what you're thinking, but I was really getting into it. I got like really far. I beat it like that, like some main boss area. I didn't beat it, but I was really close to the end. I have a gut feeling I was pretty close to the end. But regardless, I had to start over because I did pick up a PlayStation 4 Pro, and I had to start a whole new save and so on and so forth. So it's no big deal. I was able to play it again. I was able to enjoy it. Well, as you play, you unlock more equipment and gear and stuff like that, and you can customize the gear. The one thing you want to do is always equip more armor, because that's basically like an extra guy. You'll have a little armor that appears all the way bottom left of your screen. You see the little bars. The little armor will appear right there on the side, and more armor you put on, more extra guys you got. And so you see right now, I have no extra guys. But combat-wise, it plays smooth. As long as you can keep flowing and keep controlling your mech, you can be pretty devastating as long as you can control your surroundings and your mech. I'm not a big mech person. I didn't really get into the mech fad of like Gundam and so on and so forth. That's the only thing I can think of. There's been many mech kind of stuff out there, but I was never really a big mech person. But I never hated it or anything. I just never really got into it. I don't know why. But this game was actually quite enjoyable. The only really big mech game I played was, what was it, Armor Core, I believe it was, Ace Armor Core. I might be getting the name wrong. It's where you drive these giant robots, and it's like one of the most popular robot mech games out there. I haven't heard of a new one of that one now that I think about it. I hope that game hasn't died off. But regardless, that's a totally different game. But I didn't mean to get sidetracked. But it's great to see this game get a physical release in the U.S. It's great. It plays great. It's well worth a physical collection buy for your collection as well as a play, especially if you really love shoot 'em ups like this one, where it's a little bit more free-flowing instead of like a straight line. You actually control and backtrack. It's got missions and stuff like that, and it's a little bit more exploration-wise in terms of a shoot 'em up. Now, some people call them shmups, but I prefer to go with shooters, because that's just what I've always called them. I can't call them shmups. I think that's kind of a stupid name, but I understand it's a simpler term and quicker version of saying shoot 'em ups. Regardless, the gameplay plays great. The story is great. It's very interesting. It's about two factional wars fighting, and you'll find out. I don't want to give any spoilers, so I don't want to go any deeper than that about the story-wise. But my biggest favorite thing, aside from the customizing the robot and everything, weapons, your gear, and stuff you want to loot, that was a big shot to me when I came across this. As you can see, I'm like removing the gear, and I'm choosing which ones I want. You definitely always want your backpack and your, I recommend at least 2 armors for good measure. And then I always carried an assault rifle and a bazooka. And I love the bazooka. It's very devastating. I hardly ever used a shield. I could see why it'd be more useful and maybe a higher difficulties, but other than that, I never really used it. I think I had to use it once for one boss. I thought like main bosses I never needed, but it was just one little mid boss. But my most favorite thing in this game is this part right here, where you're like flying around free flowing on this outer space, and you're not on land. This part, I wish the entire game was this. I probably would have never put this game down. I would have maybe made an immediate video of this game because I adored it so much. This free-flowing part right here is like the best. If there's anybody knows any other game that's kind of like this, with free-flowing like this, please let me know so I can check it out. Because this was so much fun to fly like this. Now, this was probably the highlight of this game for me right here. I could not put this down, especially when I was boosting around, flying, switching to my bazooka to hit the bigger guys, taking on bigger airships and battle. It was just a lot of fun. This is what the game should have been all about right here, but that's my opinion. I mean, a lot of people may enjoy the land fighting, and I do like how the mission where I had to protect somebody, there was even an escort mission just before this where I had to protect a patrol unit. It was pretty good how it broke it up. It was surprisingly, I cannot believe this was a Mega Drive game. Maybe I'm wrong, it wasn't a Mega Drive game. I should correct myself on that, but I think it was a Mega Drive game. And to have this performance. Now, it probably wasn't look as good and crisp and all that stuff, because, like I said, this is kind of a remastered version of the game. But other than that, this is a well-deserved game, and I hope they can come up with maybe another one, maybe a new iteration of nowadays. Hopefully still side-scrolling like this in 2D and stuff like that, preferably. Don't go 3D and don't get all, and then go crazy with it. Keep to the classic formula, because I think this is where the game really shines, is this detailed style like this. And this is one of the things I've been really adoring this next generation of gaming, or this current gen gaming, should I say. PlayStation 4 and maybe Nintendo Switch can brighten up their field as well, with just all of these new older games are coming back, and all these remasters. I don't have anything against remasters. You remaster everything in my book. Go right ahead. More physical releases that get remastered, that's all. If you have a problem with it, don't buy it. It's just simple as that. I mean, all they're doing is just remastering an older game for you. Whether it's just last generation or not, it's not the main devs who are remastering this game. It's some other smaller company that's able to get jobs, that we're able to help pay for this, as well as provide a physical copy for people who may never gotten to play it. I mean, just because you got to play something doesn't mean everyone else got to play it. So that's why I always appreciate remasters, even if that remaster was just last generation. This generation has been really good to us with a variety of games. This is one of the best things I loved about this gen, is just so many kinds of games, and we're still getting so many more. Now, if you're like a stickler for top grade AAA out of the dot badass golden child gaming, then yeah, you're gonna be disappointed. But me, I just want fun, entertaining experiences that are not common. I want variety. Not like last generation. We were very limited on our exploration in last generation of gaming, but this gen, we're getting like all these JRPGs, these indie games are getting physical releases, we're as well getting AAA games, and even AAA games have been getting a little better with, they've been getting a little better in their forms. Like Resident Evil 7 looks very promising, and so on and so forth. So this is a well worth game to check out. Maybe get a lot better price now than when I paid for it, especially what it all is. But just for this flying part right here, I think you're going to really love, because I could not put this part down. I was so disappointed when I beat this area and I got back to land. I was like, no, I don't want to have land again. I want to keep flying like an angel. A majestic angel in space. But yeah, I couldn't stop playing this game. I had, like I said, I had to restart it because I got the PlayStation 4 Pro, but I didn't regret it at all. I just dug right back into this game. It's so much fun. It's well worth to add into your collection, especially if what you're seeing right now is something that looked like you'd be interested for. So as always, I will leave links down in the description if you're interested in a copy, which I highly recommend. So thank you all for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!